We are seeing a very ugly divorce between the LGBT movement and the Labour Party, all thanks to Keir Starmer and the militant activists from the gender lobby. The party that claims to be progressive and on the side of every single individual in the country doesn't really care, even about the marginalised groups. They don't even care about the vulnerable. They are using them for their own benefit and to their own advantage. Now, the Labour Party are struggling right now because the LGBT movement have come out to say, we do not want to be associated with these guys anymore. Now, basically, this is a perfect example of the left always ending up eating itself. And Keir Starmer is the latest meal. Very, very tasty meal. So, both sides are crazy, by the way, for the record. The Labour Party have been flip-flopping on the LGBT stuff. Starmer doesn't know how to pander to the gender lobby at the same time, protecting the women's groups, the feminists, at the same time, the traditional LGBT movement. So they're all basically angry. Everyone's been alienated, and they've been releasing statements left, right, and centre. For example, this is the LGBT plus Labour. So this is our statement on the EHRC and our call to action. We are not going to be marching with the Labour Party anymore, essentially. But obviously, they initially attacked the Tory government. This Tory government. I love it when they say the attacks from this Tory government. They make it sound so right-wing, this government. Has emerged in an attempt to rewrite the New Labour's 2010 Equalities Act, yes. So, and then they go on and basically criticise the party itself. And they say, well, we can't really be associated if Keir Starmer continues to flip-flop. They are taking the sides of the SNP, basically. They're saying that the SNP and Mark Drakeford in Wales done nothing wrong. We should completely change the Equalities Act. We should completely override everything that we have, because we want to pander to a small group of militants. It's not even the actual silent majority of people with different genders and all that, because they don't want any trouble. But at the same time, the majority of the normal, ordinary people who are in the LGBT community, they also feel betrayed, because they had their liberation and they just live in their own private life and they don't really care. But you got the loud minority coming out there, creating divisions, stirring the pot. And now this is happening. First, let's go to this report that Tom Harwood made on GB News on this issue.
LGBT Labour has long been a visible and notable wing of the Labour Party, with dozens of official patrons in Parliament and a string of campaigning successes under the last Labour government. Yet now GB News understands that LGBT Labour are considering withdrawing from marching across all British LGBT Pride events this year, due to safety concerns for their own members.
Safety concerns for their own members. Now we had the Russell Lloyd Moyle, whatever his name is, Lloyd Russell Moyle, I always forget his name, came out to do a selfie video and attack the party.
I am proud to have walked and marched with Labour LGBT members at Prides around Britain, and anything that makes that more difficult is something that I will oppose, and so will many of my colleagues. But that is not different from saying that we need a reset to this debate, and we need to bring the public on board.
So he is now going with Keir Starmer's line, because that was the latest comment that Starmer made to try to calm the whole debate down. Hasn't gone really too well for the Labour Party, and they're trying to keep some discipline in the party, considering that this man is completely hard left, and Keir Starmer, we don't even know what Starmer stands for. That's the first thing to say. But Tom Harwood did a good package, doing a review and summary of Keir Starmer's flip-flopping over the last few months.
In 2020, the Labour leader said the Gender Recognition Act was, quote, in desperate need of reform to introduce self-declaration for transgender people. And as recently as October, Sir Keir was on record saying,
we will also modernise the Gender Recognition Act.
Yet by late March this year, he has suggested he does not support such a change, and that
if you're going to make reforms, you have to carry the public with you. And I think that's a...
I'm just enjoying all this. This is brilliant. The political left are continuing to be all over the place, and they wonder why they keep losing elections. Now, if they happen to win the next election, it's simply because the country would not want the Tories. It's a vote against the Tories. It's not a vote for Labour, and that is very important to point out. It doesn't mean that the country is suddenly in love with the Labour Party and Keir Starmer's face. It's the exact opposite of that. They're basically saying, well, the Tories made a mess and we're angry, and the political class are not really providing us with a new alternative, because not everybody's go out there. Not everybody even knows that Reform UK exists, for example, because the media are not really talking about the other parties. They're not even talking about the Green Party, let alone Reform UK. But so for now, the people hardwired in their brain for decades and generations, all they see in their head is the Labour Party logo and the Conservative Party logo. And when the Conservative Party is not really doing a good job, they basically say, well, we're going to have to go with the other side because we're angry at the Tories. But the country is not in love with the Labour Party. Anyway, let's take a quick break. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm Mahyar Tousi, and we are the media.